Do complex legal issues hold you back? Let's get energized and bring clarity to your top legal questions. This is Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm.
Hello, I'm your host, Jeana Goosmann, a CEO, lawyer, author, and woman business owner, here to help navigate you through the law, your business, and life as a leader. I have with me today my business partner, Andy Simpson, who is a business and real estate attorney in Omaha, Nebraska. Welcome, Andy.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And today we're going to talk about how some folks are having their best year ever secretly in 2020. And with 2020 being the year that it is, I think a lot of people that are being successful this year are a little shy and quiet about it. What do you think, Andy?
I think you're right, but we certainly have seen a lot of folks, fortunately for them and for our regions, be very successful this year. So they are being quiet, but it's really good to see some folks have a lot of success in these times.
Absolutely. And I think as a business attorney, that's part of the fun is to, ride the wave with our clients. When they're successful, we get to be a part of that. And when they're not, we get to help them figure out what to course correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's really satisfying for us, at least in our jobs and our roles. And I think it make us an integral part of a lot of our clients' business operations are, helping them guide those ups and downs.
And Andy, what have you seen in particular as far as who has been successful in 2020 and who is having a great year this year?
As you said in the intro, a lot of my practice revolves around real estate and real estate development. And so I'm more focused in on those markets, which have certainly not hit a speed bump and have really increased, particularly in the residential new home sales. Interest rates have been low, as we know. So the velocity of those new residential home sales have increased, I think, in COVID. And then really the market that I've seen a lot are lawn and landscape companies. I represent several of those, and they're having some of the best years they've ever had. A lot of that's related to just folks being home and being outside and wanting to do home improvements, outdoor living. Pool companies are generally backed up for years now. So I have seen a lot of that, those folks having just great years in this downtime. So.
I also think anyone in the tech space, right? I mean, everything's been moving more towards technology, but all the software as a service and anyone that supports business working remotely, they've also been booming.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other one that we've seen are manufacturing companies that have been nimble enough to pivot and change their manufacturing roles to provide PPP equipment and things along those lines in the cleaning industry. We have several clients that are in that space that have they had to change and they were quick about it, but they've had a great year so far because of their ability to do so.
And certainly, anyone serving the pandemic-related businesses has seen an uptick from. I know our estate planning group has too, right?
Yeah, yes, they have. I mean, it put it into perspective for a lot of folks, and we've been advocating. Now's a good time. We're thinking about estate planning and planning for the future. And frankly, people have had a little more time on their hands to talk with their spouses and their loved ones about how that might look. And so that starts the discussion. And our TLC department has been as busy as ever. Got that right.
Now, why don't people want to talk about their success this year?
So I've been thinking about that one, and I'm not sure there's a legal answer to it, but you're right. The folks that we represent that I talk to who have sort of quietly told me we're having a great year, they're not out talking about that at the Friday night barbecue. I think there's a business angle to it. They don't want to build competition, because a lot of those industries are things that other people could move into. Certainly from a personal perspective, I guess I can just say there may be a level of awareness that that's not the case for everybody. And certainly we have a lot of folks that are really struggling right now. And I think the good business owners are acutely aware of that, and they don't want to, cause any of that sort of emotional reaction. Those are just my 2 cents.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think that, nobody wants to rub in their success this year with the fact that there is so much struggle in 2020, and 2020 has definitely been a hard year. And I think too, some of these businesses, they had a really rough Q2 as well. And then others, it started to pick back up as things have opened up again. But certainly those that have had a great year are downplaying it and probably not talking about it to anyone, but maybe their lawyers. And that's why we get to see those things.
Yeah, definitely.
How about,
I agree.
what should a business be doing now to help plan to have their best year ever in 2021?
I think really the plan for the next few months to end Q4 is to continue to be flexible and nimble in their approach and planning for 2021, because as we've seen, really the businesses that are thriving now are the ones that are they were able to pivot. And frankly, our law firm was no different. Technology and having access to that is huge. A lot of those businesses, because of their success in 2020, I think they should be planning for potential growth in terms of acquiring. And if they're on the other end of the spectrum, starting to plan their succession planning. If they're a smaller business and could potentially be a target for an acquisition. They're strong now, and it's a good time to really looking at that 2021 market because of the interest rates being low, frankly. So.
And certainly, when people have those discussions with you now, it's a lot easier to make sure that you've got the right parties and players in place and you explore all those different options. I think one of the big things that business leaders often don't do is start those conversations soon enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say the pandemic was good in that vein because there was a lot of the PPP loans and things that were going on out there. And it caused folks to call us and talk about, are my corporate books in shape? What do we need to do to clean things up? And that starts the succession planning discussion and puts everything in line for sort of a cleaner 2021 if they are, in fact, looking to implement that succession plan or simply be acquired and or grow in form of acquisition. So that's a long answer, but it's helped the discussion. We have to have those conversations, and they take sometimes 5, 7, 10 years of talking about, and how's this going to look for me and my company that I've built. So we're always happy to have those discussions with folks. They're fun.
And Andy, how can you in particular help clients at the Goosmann Law Firm?
I think just that. Our business transactional department, it really does focus on business leaders and entrepreneurials. And so starting those discussions with us now, it doesn't have to be a full-blown plan, but we love doing that and helping see people reach their goals and push their companies as far as they want to take them. So give us a call. We'll have those discussions, and we really enjoy them. So.
Outstanding. And you mentioned your transactional department. Share with everyone, if you would, what does your transaction department look like?
So our department spans all 3 offices: our Sioux Falls office, Sioux City office, and Omaha office. Myself and Barry Sackett lead it, and we have a really dynamic team that we think can touch every industry that we may need to serve for our clients. And we also have a corresponding litigation department if we need to have that as well. But we're kind of a full service department, whether it be corporate governance and or a full-blown merger acquisition or succession planning strategy.
Outstanding. Well, Andy, thank you so much for sharing your insight today. And I'd like to just remind everyone to go have a great day and make it worth it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm. We hope you feel energized and ready to soar past your goals. Become a Flock fan and subscribe to our podcast for weekly episodes. Learn more at goosmannlaw.com.